The next topic we're going to learn about the pipelines. In the previous class, we had created a project. So what are the tools we have used? Previously we had used the JIT, Maven and Jenkins and Tomcat. So Jenkins is used as a CA/CD tool. For deployment I use the Tomcat. Okay. So previously I created a project, that is the project was the freestyle project. That was the, so in the freestyle project all the pipeline operations can done by the manually. We need to add the steps like CA/CD steps, all steps are do manually. Whereas so another thing is use the one is the scripted pipeline. Today I was going to learn about the scripted pipeline. Here what are my pipelines? Pipelines using the plugins is called plugin based pipelines, are also known as the upstream and downstream pipelines. These pipelines are created using the freestyle jobs. Jenkins allows to create the multiple tasks in a, it will create a multiple task on a single job. Whenever has to perform the set of tasks one by one in a sequence, in a parallel. I want to run the multiple jobs. Okay. So when you run the Jenkins, it is a single job. I want to run the multiple jobs at a time. Then we can use the are easily done by using the pipeline template in Jenkins. Instead of running the jobs manually one by one, I want to run the parallelly jobs manually multiple times. I want to run the jobs parallelly. Then it takes manually I need to run one by one. Instead of that, if you write down the script, these parallel jobs should be run by using the pipeline script. Understood? Whenever user has to perform the set of tasks one after another in a parallel, by using the pipeline template in the Jenkins, we can perform the multiple tasks. Pipeline in Jenkins are nothing but a set of tasks executed in sequence. Okay. Whenever user is creating a pipeline, we'll have to write a code for it. Instead of running the pipeline manually, we're going to run the pipeline by using the script. The pipeline code is based on the Groovy scripting. The pipeline's code is based on the Groovy scripting, which is a domain-specific language. What is the domain-specific language? In generally, the pipeline scripting with Jenkins uses which type of scripting? Groovy scripting. We're going to write down the pipeline script by using the Groovy script, which is provided by the Jenkins. Okay, Jenkins. Here in Jenkins, we use the two types of pipeline. Okay, one is the scripted pipeline, second one is the declarative pipeline. How many pipelines we can create? Two types of pipeline. One is the scripted pipeline, second one is the declarative pipeline. So what is the difference between scripted pipeline and declarative pipeline? Generally, we're using the declarative pipeline. We are deploy the declarative pipeline. Scripted pipeline is old one. Scripted pipeline syntax always start a keyword called a node. Node is nothing but where the Jenkins run. Suppose I am running the Jenkins on the Ubuntu EC2. That is a node. Where Jenkins is running is known as that is a node. Where Ubuntu EC2 server is running the Jenkins, that will become the node. Understood? When Jenkins version 1 came to the market, the admin used to scripted pipeline in the olden days. When starting, they used to use this pipeline. Which pipeline? Scripted pipeline. Scripted pipeline syntax is difficult to read and write. Understood? There is no structure or no definite style which is writing the code. Which is the? Understand? Writing the code. The code written scripted pipeline syntax is non-validated by the Jenkins. The code which is written by the scripted pipeline, it is not validated by Jenkins. There is no validation is there from Jenkins. And the syntax is no longer used. Okay, in the initial days, they use which one? If the pipeline fails, you have to run the pipeline from the beginning. Suppose there are multiple steps there in the, what are the steps there in CI/CD? Code download, code compile, code build, code test, code deploy. If any one of the steps fails, all steps again need to run execute from the beginning. Understood? Whereas in the declarative pipeline, if any one of the stages fail, remaining stages will run. But remaining stages will run. But here all fail. Which one? Scripted pipeline. Next is the declarative pipeline. Declarative pipeline syntax always start with a keyword called pipeline. When you write down the code for the pipeline, it always start with the pipeline. Whereas the scripted pipeline start with the node. Understood? This is a new version of the Jenkins. Declarative pipeline syntax was introduced. Okay. Right now we are going to use the which pipeline? Declarative pipeline. This is the well structured syntax. When user is provided with the definite pipeline section, we need to just declare the pipeline code. We need to just declare the pipeline code only. So declarative means predefined. What is my declarative? Predefined. Declarative. We'll go to, declarative is a nature syntax is very simple. If the pipeline fails, you can restart the pipeline from the point where I have multiple stages are there. Which stage is the pipeline is failed? We need to start from the particular stage only. We don't need to start the pipeline from the beginning. Stages in pipeline means job can be executed. Every stage have a name. In pipeline have every stage what? Stage have a name or steps. What are the pipeline contains? Pipeline contains the stages. So again in the stages we have steps. Pipeline, the pipeline we have stages are there. So again stages have steps. Understood? So then Jenkins provide a pipeline code snippet generator. If you don't know the code, how to write down the, you don't know the code, how to write down the script for the pipeline, there is an inbuilt option in there that is called as pipeline code snippet generator. Pipeline code snippet generator. That helps you to line the pipeline scripting very fast. Okay. So here for example, if you see this for example, how will you write down? It will follow the key value format. Key value format. Okay. Here see this structure of the declarative pipeline. I told you the declarative pipeline always start with which one? Pipeline, followed by the pipeline. Again the followed by the tools. Which tools you want to use to execute the pipeline. Then followed by the parameter input. Then always start with agent. This is not a mandatory. Which one? This is not a mandatory. But this one was, this is not a mandatory. But this is the mandatory. Which one is mandatory? Agent. Under the agent, we are going to write down the script. Under the agent, we are going to write down the script. Here the script is starting the curly brace, ending the curly brace. With the starting curly brace, ending the curly brace. And already told that the script contains the stages. What are that? Stages. So there are, under the stages, we have a stage. Stages contain the stage. This is the stage 1, these are the stages. Stages have a stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 3. Understood? Under the stages, we have a steps. Under the stages, we have a steps. Again, in the steps contain the task. What is the task? I want to download the GitHub repository. That is the task. We are going to define the task here. I want to clone the repository. That is a task. So steps, under the steps we have a what? Task will be there. So the pipeline contains always start with agent. Okay, always start with agent. Contain the stages. Contain the stages. Stages contain the stage, multiple stages. Suppose I have a 5 stages for the CACD. These stages are 5 stages. One by one I write down the 5 stages. Stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 3. Stage 4 and stage 5. Again stage contain the steps. Stage contain the steps. Step contain the task. So task may be download the code from the GitHub, build the code from the Maven, deploy the code from the Tomcat. That is the task. Understand? So this is the way to write down the what? Pipeline. See this, there is example is there to write down the pipeline here. Okay? Pipeline, it starts with pipeline, end with the pipeline. And so here the agent is there. Agent is there. Which agent is there? Agent any. It contains what? Stages. Contains the stages. Stage 1, stage 2, stage 3 and stage 4. Okay, again the stage contains the steps. Step contains the task. I need to download the code from this one. I need to download the code from the Git repository. Then I need to compile the code by using the maven. Again, I will do the project, build the project by using the pmd command, and I do the maven test. I will do the test, and I will do the install the package. I will install the package. It's okay. So what does the contains the pipeline contains the always start with the agent, and it contains the stages. Stage contains the multiple stages. Under the stage we have a steps. Under the steps we have a task. This is the how you write down the pipeline. How will you write down the pipeline? I will show you how to write down the pipeline. There is the best demo pipeline. Then we'll going to do the project. Same project yesterday what we had deployed by using the freestyle project. Same project we are going to deploy. Same project going to deploy. Same project we will deploy by using the scripted pipeline. Yesterday's project same. Here I am just logged into the Jenkins here. I am just logged into Jenkins here. Understood? What happened here? Yesterday it was worked fine. Now why it is not working? Okay, leave it. We're going to create a on top of the instance. It was not working actually. Okay. So we are logged into the Jenkins. We logged into the Jenkins. So to create a pipeline, scripted pipeline. Okay. So how will you create a project in the Jenkins? Go into the what? New item. New item. Click on the item. There are multiple things are there. One is the pipeline project. Second is the freestyle project. So instead of selecting the freestyle project, we are going to select what? Pipeline project here. Give the name. It's okay. I'll just give the name as pipe 123. Pipe 123. I'm going to select the pipeline project. Okay. Now okay. Now okay. Okay. Here, if you see the other options, okay. If you see the other options, like we have another project is there. This is the pipe freestyle project. If you compare the pipe, this is the freestyle project. This is the freestyle project. Okay. And this is the what? Pipeline project. Pipeline project doesn't have a that, you don't have that much of option. Very few options are in the pipeline project. Understood? So what are the options are there? General, advanced project options and pipeline. Got it? Here to create the pipeline, just click on the pipeline, click up the pipeline. Here are two options are there. Either you can directly write down the pipeline script from the Jenkins dashboard, or the pipeline script from the SCM. What is SCM? Source code management. It is there in it. I have written a source code. Mean that I have already written a pipeline code. I written a pipeline code and I kept my pipeline code the GitHub. Understood? So either we can directly write down the pipeline code here on top of the Jenkins dashboard, or else I had already written a code which is I kept in the GitHub. From the GitHub, I want to create a pipeline. So from the GitHub, I want to create a pipeline. We need to go for what? Pipeline script from the SCM. I want to write down the script directly. I just go to the pipeline script. Okay. Here are multiple pipeline script examples are there. We have a hello world, try simple pipeline. We have a scripted pipeline is there. By using GitHub and Maven, so there is a script is there, default script is there. How you write? How will you write? These are the steps are there. I told you that always starts with what? Pipeline. Always start with the pipeline. And agent. What are the tools I use? This is not mandatory. This is not a mandatory. Okay. And stages. Okay. So how many stages are there? Stages. Stages contain the stage, one stage, and contain the steps. Contain the steps. Okay. So here we will going to select a hello world. Okay. This is the pipeline script. Okay. This is the sample pipeline script. It always start with the pipeline. Always start with the pipeline. So next step is what? Agent any. And what are the stages are there? We'll have a stages are there. This thing we're going to edit. We'll add the multiple stages. We'll add 5 stages. We'll add 5 stages. Simple thing is there. Here just here. This stage start from this one. No, here. And don't copy this one. You'll get error. No? Just copy here. Here indentation also very important. Remember that. Okay. Paste. 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 Got it? Here in the stages, I added a 5 stages. Added a 5 stages. In the stage, okay, stage name. I'll give the stage name. We are not building the project act. Next step, we're going to build the real-time project. Here I am just adding the steps here. Code download. What is the stage name here? Code download. So in the echo steps here, in the steps here, I am adding here code from GitHub. Code from just adding a demo here. Code from GitHub. Okay, GitHub. Got it? Then next stage, I am going to use the code compile. Okay? Code compile. Got it? Code compile. Here in the echo step, he will add the compiling the code. I am adding the statement here, compiling the code. Compiling the code. Got it? Compiling the code. Okay? Again, you have a step is the stage is there. In the stage, we are going to build stage. Here, I'll add the build stage. Okay, I'll just add the what is the stage here? So building the code. Building the code. Okay. Build the code. Okay. And the next step here is the test stage. I'm going to add the test stage. Test stage. Got it? Again here, just to here, go to the test success. I'm just adding the test success. Done. Next thing is there. It's over. Left anything left? Yeah. Okay. I just leave it here. Okay, no problem. Just had a deploy. Generally, deploy is there in last stage, but I just forgot here. Just add here. Huh? Deploy work. Deploy work. Done. Another thing is if any syntax error is there, it will show the error here. Because Jenkins will validate your source code. So I added a, if you don't have any error is there, it is validated. If any error is there, it will have a shows the error. Then apply here, then save here. Then save here. So got it here. So then go to the dashboard. Go to the dashboard. So what is the pipeline name is? Pipe 1, 2, 3. We're going to run the pipeline. We're going to run the pipeline. So by clicking on the play button. Clicking on the play button. Okay. So when you click on the play button, see this, there are multiple pipeline is running the multiple tasks. Pipeline is running the multiple tasks. So now the pipeline is run. What is the pipeline here? Pipe 1, 2, 3. Here, go to the which option? First stage view. So now pipeline runs successfully because there is no syntax is there, error is there. We had added all steps. Understand? The first thing is there, code download first stage. Generally we done a mistake here. Instead of that, we need to add a code deploy is there in last step. But we forgot it here. Then we added a code download, code compile, deploy, build and test. These are the steps. These are the stages how the pipeline is run. So this is the way to how to write down the what? Pipeline script. Understood? Pipeline script. Okay. The same thing we're going to use the real-time project. Okay. Real-time project.